Name of the today's subject is Industrial AC Machine, that is IAM. This is third year subject. The subject code is 22523 and semester is EE5I, and topic of the today's lecture is three phase induction motor, and myself DP Sonavne. The topic of this lecture we have started in the last lecture. In last lecture we have seen the operating principle of three phase induction motor, construction of three phase induction motor, and also seen the different parts of a three phase induction motor. Now in this topic, in this lecture, we are going to see the classification of three phase induction motor according to the rotor construction. The three phase induction motor are classified into the two types, that is squirrel cage induction motor and slip ring induction motor. As name tells, squirrel cage induction motor, the rotor is a look like a cage of a bird. That's why this type of induction motor is known as or called as a squirrel cage induction motor. This type of induction motor having low starting torque, and this type of induction motor are used in a industrial as well as domestic purpose. This type of induction motor having a simple and rugged construction. The squirrel cage induction motor are cheap as compared to the slip ring induction motor. Squirrel cage induction motor having maintenance is very easy as compared to the slip ring induction motor. The cost of this type of induction motor is less as compared to the slip ring induction motor, and this type of induction motor, that is squirrel cage induction motor, can be used in an explosive area. And the starting torque of this type of induction motor is low as compared to the slip ring induction motor. As um, the cost is this type of induction motor is used where the cost is the most important factor. That is the application of this type of induction motor where it is used are lathe machine, compressors, centrifugal pumps, and in agricultural, etc. Now the slip ring induction motor, as the name tells us that slip ring induction motor, this type of induction motor having a slips on the shaft. That's why this type of induction motor is known as a slip ring induction motor. This type of induction motor having high starting torque as compared to the squirrel cage induction motor. The construction of this type of induction motor is having a complicated construction. The maintenance cost of this type of induction motor is having high as compared to the squirrel cage induction motor. The this type of induction motor requires starters compulsory, because without starter it cannot be starts. And this type of induction motor cannot be used in an explosive area. An application of this type of induction motor is used where the requirement is a high starting torque, that is used where in a crane, hoist, lift. That is, in this application the requirement is a high starting torque. In case slip ring induction motor, we can vary the speed by adding the external resistance, but in case of squirrel cage induction motor we cannot vary the speed by adding the external resistance, because the bars are short circuited through the end rings. Now as we know that the every induction motor or the motor having a rotor and stator. That's why the there there will be a stator winding and rotor winding. Now the stator winding are star connected and delta connected, and the rotor winding are closed loop that are short circuited with themselves, or it is the wound as the rotor bars are short circuited at the both ends through the end rings. Now here the assembly of three-phase induction motor. In assembly of three-phase induction motor, there is a fan cover. It is provided for the covering the fan. Fan is provided for the cooling the induction motor. When induction motor is overloaded, at that time it gets overheated. To cool down, the fan is required. Here is a bearing is provided for the moving part or the rotating the shaft is known as bearing. Here is a terminal box is also provided. In that the connection is brought in the terminal box. After that there is a eye bolt. The purpose of eye bolt to the lift the induction motor, and also there is a nameplate. In a nameplate there is a provided a rating of the particular induction motor for which the what is the HP of particular induction motor or the rating of the induction motor. After that there is the stator winding. The stator winding uh, will be constructed for or made up from the copper bars or aluminum bars. There is a stator which is made up from the magnetic material. There is a frame. The frame of a three-phase induction motor or a induction motor is constructed or made from the metal alloy. Also there is a rotor which is rotating, is known as a rotor, and there is also provided a shaft is rotating. In case of slip ring induction motor, there is a place the slips, and there is a end shields are shown in picture, and also there is a V ring slider. This is the assembly of three-phase induction motor. Now here is the rotating magnetic field. This is the most important concept of a induction motor. The RMF is, or the rotating magnetic field. It is that field which constant in a magnitude, but whose axis of an induction motor rotate in a space like a field system of a DC motor, or it is the magnetic field that has moving polarities in which opposite poles rotate about the central axis is known as the RMF. And as the side figure shows the wave of induced EMF in a rotor. The rotating magnetic field having the speed, that is the synchronous speed, that is ns is equal to 120 f upon p. Now here the induction motor speed, as we know that the as the induction the as we know that the know that the induction motor rotate always below the synchronous speed, because when the induction motor run at the synchronous speed, at that time there will be a no relative speed between the stator and the rotor. That's why it looks like stationary with respect to each other, and that's why there is a no induced EMF in the rotor. So there is a no flowing of current to the conductor of the rotor, and therefore rotor remains stationary. So if the rotor speed falls below the synchronous speed at that time, then and then there will be a production of voltage in that rotor, and rotor will be rotated, or a torque will be produced over the rotor. Now here the induction motor speed, as the induction motor will always run at a speed lower than the synchronous speed. The difference, the slip can be defined as the difference between a synchronous speed and the motor speed. The difference between motor speed and the synchronous speed is known as the slip. That is, slip n slip is equal to n synchronous minus nm, where the n slip is the slip speed and n synchronous is slip of the magnetic field, or the speed of the magnetic field. As we know that the magnetic field rotate at the synchronous speed, and nm is the actual speed of the rotor, or the actual speed of the motor, that is rotate below the synchronous speed. Now here the difference between induction motor and transformer. As the both induction motor and transformer works on the same principle, that is induced voltage. As in case of transformer, voltage applied to the primary windings, and voltage is induced in a secondary winding. But in case of induction motor, the the primary in an induction motor is a stator, while the secondary in the induction motor is a rotor. So that is the difference, or the same case in case of induction motor. The difference in case of induction motor is that the secondary winding in case of induction motor is movable. So the rotor is a secondary winding in case of three-phase induction motor or induction motor. But due to the rotation of a rotor of a secondary winding of an induction motor, the induced voltage in it does not have the same frequency of the stator of the primary voltage. That's why the voltage of induced the frequency of induced voltage in a secondary winding in case of induction motor, that is in the rotor, is varying that to that of the source voltage or applied voltage. Now here are different losses occurs in an induction machine. The copper losses occurs in a stator and rotor, because in case of stator there is a stator winding which is made up from the copper. That's why there is a copper losses is occurs. And in case of rotor winding, there are winding are provided or placed over the rotor or rotor bars or the rotor winding. That's why there is also copper losses occurs in a rotor winding, that is I square R2. And in case of stator winding, there is the I1 square into R1. And core losses or magnetic losses, that losses occurs in a magnetic material. This losses is known as the core losses. The core losses occurs in a stator winding, in case of stator and rotor also, because there we are using magnetic material in a stator and rotor also. And third loss is a mechanical power loss. This is due to the friction and windage law. Now, thank you. This is the second lecture for the IAM. Thank you.